everyone. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Seriously Podcast. I'm Mary.
I'm Brittany.
And if you're new here and are not familiar with us, first of all, thank you for tuning in. Welcome, and we hope you guys enjoy the show. If you are familiar with us, what up? Thanks again for coming back, and we hope you guys enjoy the show as well.
Yes. So today we are getting into episode 106 of Tough Love LA. Now we are right in the middle of this show and the drama is heating up. Like things are coming to the surface, finally. And people are opening their eyes just a little bit. And people are still acting crazy. But, you know, in true fashion. But it's fine. But, you know, we had to bring some backup with us today. We have Symphony Canady, who plays Denise on the show. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Now, we had our thoughts about Denise on this show. So we're glad you came up here to talk about this.
I'm in the lion's den.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all seen the YouTube comments? I've been in the lion's den.
Like, this ain't nothing, honey.
Right.
I'm not ready.
Girl, we're getting into it right now. So before we get started, what's the first web series you ever watched?
So the first web series that I watched, I feel like for a lot of people was Awkward Black Girl. That was it was like the first one that I had ever heard of, probably, you know, because it was pretty mainstream. Because of Issa, and that's kind of how she got her start. And so that's really what got me into, like, okay, this is like a whole genre here, like of people that are creating content that I want to watch.
Yes, that's a classic.
But I definitely am new to the scene. Like, there's a lot more I have to discover. So if you guys have any recs, I definitely want to know what some of your favorites have been over the past.
Oh, girl, we got you. We are. So this is what we do. Just tell us a genre.
I know. The pros.
Just tell us a genre. We'll give you a few. But another one of our favorites is actually Tough Love. Like, you know, we started with New York and now, you know, we're doing LA. So we love this show. So tell us, like, how you got onto Tough Love LA.
Yeah. So I actually auditioned for it back in about a year ago. So it was about maybe like April of last year. So very much like peak pandemic time. Everything had gone online as far as like castings and stuff. And I saw the breakdown and I just immediately was like drawn. It actually wasn't for Denise that I originally auditioned for, but I saw, like, you know, what the show was about. And I was like, this is really dope. Like, I kind of want to know more. And we started the process, and then maybe like a week or two into that, they were like, oh, we can't, like, half our crew is in New York. They're quarantined there. You know, we're quarantined the other half in LA. Like, no one was really traveling at this time. And, you know, we were all learning everything at that time. We thought, you know, things are going to open up. And then it was like, just kidding. No, they're not opening up. So it was like, it went away. And I didn't really know what happened. Like, for a few months, I was, you know, figured I just didn't get the role. That kind of just happens, you know. And then in the fall, they hit me up again. We're like, hey, I don't know if you remember, but like, you read for us. Like, we're finally ready to like get things going. We know how to like do a set during COVID now. Like, everything was starting to, you know, be open as far as filmmaking in LA. Are you interested in it still? And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. So came back in and kind of finished the audition process from there. But it was a process.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I would have never thought this was happening during COVID.
Yeah, it's really amazing. They told us a little bit about the writing process of it. And like I said, their team was split up between New York and LA. And I think even a few people went to like their hometowns to write out. So they were doing like virtual writing rooms, really, and just like having everybody come on Zoom to like write the entire series. And none of the writers had ever met in person.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Yeah.
So for your role, Denise, how, in your opinion, how do you think your character is portrayed?
So Denise is portrayed as really just like that bougie Black girl. Like, she wants the best. Like, she's always going to have her nails done, always going to have her, you know, her hair done, looking right. But she also like works really hard for those things, and
Mm-hmm.
she's not afraid to sacrifice, but she believes, rightfully so, that she deserves the best of everything.
Right.
And that's really, I think, her driving force in the way that we see her interactions unfold with her friends, with her fiance, and even at work.
I love how you explained that because off top, like we wasn't really feeling Denise. I'm gonna be very honest with you. But hearing your explanation of her is like, actually we know that girl. Like we know the bougie girl who just thinks that she deserves the world, and
Mhm.
we're not mad at it, but it's just like, girl, have a seat. Um
Right. Like rein it
right, like
in.
bring it in, like come back down to reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally understand her now.
So we see, Denise and Brian, they have their ups and downs, mostly downs. But
That y'all see. We have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right. Do you think Denise loves Brian or just the idea of him?
I think she really does love him. I think she
Okay.
really does, at her core.
Hmm.
But I like I heard that.
This is all very interesting.
Right.
Nobody believes it. But she does. I think she really does. She just does not, I think she's not used to having someone who loves her in a very genuine way, the way that Brian does. And I
Mm,
think for her, she doesn't know how to return the love
mm-hmm.
all the time. And she lashes out or she shuts down when she should be trying to like open up whenever she feels that she's going to be vulnerable, which I think for her, even just like being loved makes her feel vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
makes her
Mhm.
feel afraid. And she reacts in those ways, making it seem like, like I don't really get too attached, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah. She,
Mhm.
she has these, like, that's how her outward facing personality is. But I think on the inside, she really does love fiercely.
Mhm.
And it gets a little lost in translation.
Hey, um, to me, she seems a bit like, I want to say like she's like almost like regimented because
Mhm.
to me she just seems like if you don't have this that and the third, then I think she looks at Brian like almost like he's not worthy of her,
Mhm.
because the
Mm.
idea of him wanting to start his own business, she
Mhm.
really does not like this, and I don't understand it. Like any other woman would be like, I'm so happy to have a black man that is willing to have his own business, be his own boss. That's
Yeah.
essentially what she wants. But she's like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be on the struggle bus with him. But it's like, girl, which one is it? Like, you want him to be a boss or you want him to not work? Like, which one is it?
I think she's just the growth process for her. She wants him to be a boss like today. Like
Mm.
she wants the mansion and the, amazing gorgeous wedding on a private island or something right now. She doesn't want to do the work. I think that's a harsh reality for her that
Mm.
she's learning and seeing this journey and like, ooh, okay. It's not as like picturesque as all the fun dinners and champagnes that I thought like being with an entrepreneur would be. It's like setting up boxes all night, every night when I just want to like have a glass of wine and relax because I'm done with work, you know.
Right.
And I think she's a little too self centered to
A
really.
little.
Yeah, she
Let's be honest here.
definitely. She's a little too self centered to understand what that commitment is like, But I
And
mean,
that's
like,
crazy.
I feel like you guys are kind of entrepreneurs. You got your podcast going, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
work like hours outside of the normal, And it's
Mm-hmm.
the same with acting. I can relate to Brian in that way of that, a
Mhm.
partner probably doesn't always want to like read lines with me when I have an audition that comes up or something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, yeah, Denise, she hasn't really evolved to understand that his lifestyle isn't like hers, where she can just come home from work and turn it off.
Right. But it's crazy that she doesn't even understand. Like, even she had to start from the bottom somewhere. Like, she's trying to
Mhm.
get into real estate. She had to study for that. So it's kind of the same thing.
True.
And for her to not even understand where he's coming from, it's like, sis, what planet are you on?
She does, and she talks about it a little bit in this episode too. When they have the girls' night,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of telling her friends, like, I'm out here doing my job by myself. I'm not asking Brian to look over contracts or to bake cookies to come to the open house with me. So for her, she just doesn't understand why he's asking her. I don't think it's that she's like looking down on him or thinking that he doesn't have his stuff together. She's just kind of like, well, I'm independent and you should be too. And she
Mhm.
hasn't really understood the sacrifice that comes with being
Mm-hmm.
a partner.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Like, she doesn't see the part, like marriage, and this it has to be a partnership. Like, y'all work together, help each other out. Like, it shouldn't be a problem
Mhm.
if your partner asks for help.
Right. She doesn't get that yet. Not yet.
She's
Not
very
yet.
much like, help. Like, what?
Oh, what? Do it yourself.
I don't understand.
So let's get into episode 106.
Cool.
So Maya and Rashad, they're arguing. So, last week we found out that Rashad's on the dating apps, which we knew. Maya didn't know.
Yeah. He's been there. He introduced Raymond to that app.
He put them all on this app. And they're going in, like, arguing, but he is just so manipulative, like, just flipping it. She's like,
show me the messages. Oh, God. I swear you just been digging for BS, looking for any little reason to call it quits. I told you, Rel and Gus dared me to get the app. I thought I was schooling them on how to get girls on some playground stuff.
Who believes that?
yes. And then she's like, let me see the message. He's like, what you got to see the messages for? Like, what's that going to prove? Okay.
Gaslighting. It's the textbook gaslighting.
Yes, so much gas in this room, lighting it up. So while they're arguing, Raymond calls Story to the side, and I thought they were going to talk about, like, maybe I met this girl on the app. Her name's
That's what I thought.
right? Because he was like, let me talk to you for a minute. But
Right, that's his
instead,
bestie.
yes. Instead, he decided to talk to her about this information that he found out about Jackson, this public information. But I'm just like, why is he keeping this from the crew? Like, we're all part of this experiment. Why
It's
would
been
you
like
make that
24 hours. You have everybody's number. I'm so confused. Why wouldn't you just tell everybody, look, it's a possibility our stuff can get put out there?
Yes, y'all talk about everything else.
Story's no agent. What you telling her for?
She's like, I'm on it first thing in the morning.
What is she gonna do?
Well, I think he was thinking because she's the one who like signed us up for all of this.
Right.
But no, you're right.
No.
I feel like, yes, she can, like, dig into it, I guess, a little bit more, but at least give everyone else a heads up too, because we're all sharing our information.
Right.
Raymond dropped the ball on that one.
Rashad and Maya are, like, continue arguing, and he's still trying to blame it on her. Like, lately we've been off, and I guess that's his excuse for going on these apps. But I thought the excuse was
right.
It was a play.
Yeah. He really pissed me off when he was like, when she said, like, I have a lot going on, and he was like, for how long? Boy, her brother died. What are you talking about? For how long? For as long as it takes.
Come on, like, how insensitive can you be?
You are so selfish. Get out. Why are you taking so long to pack? I was just like, he's talking too much. Get the fuck out. Get out of here.
So true. I would have packed his bags for him, pull an Angela Bassett in the car.
Nothing
and
to talk about.
Nothing. And then he starts playing the small violin, like, I don't have friends.
Ooh.
I don't have nobody.
Blah, blah.
And then he brings Raymond's name in it, and that's all he needed to hear. Raymond charged into that room. And they get bucks, are arguing with each other, like, you need to grow up. This you call this a man? Like, going in. There's so much.
Like, Is this your king? For real?
Right,
This is what you fighting for, girl?
Right. Wake up. Wake up.
And then the girls leave. I'm like, hold up. This is your house. They need to be leaving first. I'm not leaving these men in my house. Y'all leave first.
Right. I need to make sure y'all leave because they'll get too comfortable again. Out.
Right? No, and Rashad. So then the girls, they go to get drinks, and Maya, the boy, he got in her head because she's over here trying to justify his behavior.
Yes.
And Denise shuts it down immediately.
Rashad has a lot of work to do.
Heard it all before. Next.
Damn, Denise. Girl, we've been through this time and time again. How many F-ups is it going to take for you to stand up for yourself? Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you a relationship expert now? I am not. But I recognize patterns of toxicity when I see them.
But then stories that I wouldn't say it that harsh, but I'm like, I don't think she said it harsh at all. She had to give it to her how she needed to hear it because Maya's hard-headed.
Yeah, she gave her the unfiltered truth. That's what she needed.
Yeah.
Symphony, have you ever had to give your friend like that type of hard truth in your real life?
Honestly, no. I feel like in that scenario, in real life, I'd probably be a little bit more of the story approach of like, I'm gonna let you like try and figure your stuff out and like gently guide you, with like, oh, I don't know if that's right, but I'm more the type of person who I'm like, if that's your decision, I like support you,
Mhm.
But yeah, sometimes you just have to
Right.
Sometimes people don't respond to you being kind about it, and like they only listen when you're like harsh. You gotta
Yeah.
give them that energy. You don't want to, but you got to.
But you got to.
Exactly.
So then we get Denise tells her what's going on with her, and she out of nowhere is like, I want to fire Brian's assistant. I'm like, for why? What did she do?
She did nothing.
You want to fire her?
They're too close.
Yeah.
Too close for computer.
But then she has no plans to help him run his business, so make it make sense, girl.
Like
My
this
plan is
girl.
I'll set the interviews next round. I'll be there with you.
Right.
She reminds me of like insecure married people who like the woman would hire like a manny because she doesn't want like a woman to be around her husband.
Oh yeah.
That's what she's giving me right now.
Denise
I'm
would
like, so they
definitely
about
do
to
that.
hire a gay man.
That's the only way she'll be happy. But I feel like Denise will find a way to be mad at that too. Like,
oh no.
Dang, no fake
Denise is always mad.
Stay mad.
Nah, not even.
But overall, like her logic, if you want to call it that, is, he has his goals. She has her goals. So they're going to meet at the top and run the world. And I'm like, Houseway, make it make sense again.
Ow.
How?
What you mean how?
How? You have no interest in helping each other?
Just meet you there at the top?
I'll just meet you there, then we'll run things. Okay, great.
I think she's thinking of it more like, diversified income streams, right?
Nah, that's not what I got. No, girl.
Is that right?
Just trying to get some sympathy for Denise.
I mean, I guess, but I just feel like
no.
I don't know. I'm trying to see it, but it's just not making sense, especially for like y'all supposed to be married, like partnership.
I know. Hey, I never said that Denise couldn't benefit from some therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got to make an appointment.
Yeah, her girls are like, they can just tell she's stuck on stupid at this point because like they did the math and it doesn't add up. Like they're like trying to get her to understand like it's called partnership, and she's just like, he needs to work on his stuff. I'm gonna work on my stuff, and then we'll be a dream team.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make no sense, but we're gonna see what
We'll
happens.
We'll go with it. So the girls start to ask Story about, how's the dating apps been, what's going on, what's her update. And, Maya's like, tell her about what you've been doing, like your newest hobby. So Story talks about how she is catfishing Raymond. And again, Denise is like us. She doesn't understand the point. What's the reason?
Yes.
If you want to talk to the boy, just call him up. What is it?
Right? At your big age, you're doing too much, girl.
What is the reason? No one gets it. So
Story at this point don't even get it because she didn't make any sense.
At all.
She changed her story again. I said, that's not what you told Maya. Like, what?
She don't know. She's too deep in it. Like, Story stop. So Denise is kind of like, well, that's kind of petty, just teaching him a lesson. And that struck a chord with Story. She's like, oh, when it's not petty that you want to fire your husband assistant. Like, oh, you mad, sis? You mad?
Very much so. Don't call her out.
Yeah, she cut back real quick on that one.
Yes. So later on, Denise and, the man of her dreams, not to be confused with her fiance.
Oh my God, that is foul.
I mean, she stayed daydreaming about this man, and it's not her fiance.
Inappropriate. He's always like, Denise, are you okay? Like,
oh my God.
Are you focused on work?
You can't go to work before. You never seen somebody who's just fine and you're like, dang, he's fine. Like nothing more than that. But just a thought.
Yes, of course, but I'm paying attention at the same time.
Right.
She had a whole fantasy of them at the
Okay,
pool.
but is it worse than being on a dating app?
Look at her.
Come on. Are you serious?
Is that worse?
Dang.
No. Rashad is 10 times worse.
Man.
But Denise is close second.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all competing every week. Is one of y'all at the top of problematic.
So true. So Story goes on a date with this Peace and Blessings brother. Well, first of all, before they even go on a date, they're on the phone and he invites her over to his house. And it's at first she's like, no, this is the first time we're meeting. I can't do it. He was like, just send your location. Okay, I'll be there. Girl.
Right.
Girl. Is that an LA thing? That's how they do it out there?
We think everything's an LA thing.
We do think everything is an LA thing.
I mean,
I feel like that's a Story thing. Like Story, I love her, but she be a bit naive sometimes. I feel like some of her decisions are a little naive.
Very much so.
It's very sad to watch.
It is. Especially like nowadays, like you can't, anytime you go on a first date with somebody, especially on the app, it has to be a public place. You got to.
Yes.
Please.
What she think this is? She looking for her king so badly that she's out here just trusting the world. Not the world, girl. You can't be trusting the world.
You can't. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But, she got to follow her heart, if you will. She meets up with him. They chat about a lot of different things. And he asked to take...
He was talking a whole bunch of nothing. Absolutely nothing. Talking about looking into her soul. I said, what?
But she was eating it up. She loved it. She said, this sounds great. Then he asked to, take her pictures, talking about, self-discovery is freedom. She's like, you know what, you're right. Next thing you know, her clothes are off.
At this point, I've lost all hope for Story. When I saw her do that, I said, ma'am, you met him 5 minutes ago.
Literally 5 minutes. Come on.
You're not serious right now, Story. Like, you dead ass right now?
Doesn't know him from Adam.
From
And
Adam.
Yes.
She don't even know if that's his real name, if he's really vegan, if he's really into these holistic
Right.
vibes that he's throwing out there.
Right. Like,
But like you
what?
said, she's like searching for her, her match so intently that she's just like, okay, yeah, this doesn't seem like weird or toxic or strange. It's,
He
it's
convinced
tight.
her to pose for him with just a sheet on. What? How, Sway? How? He got good game because there's no way you talking me into getting my clothes off. I
There's
swear I
no
just met
way.
you.
They ain't even eat or nothing.
Mm-mm.
Nothing. No, he cooked. He cooked
Oh, he cooked.
some vegan mess. Some vegan mess.
Some vegan mess.
Right.
At least he fed her, I guess.
I guess. Mm. So she comes home, she tells Maya about the whole date. And, next thing you know, she's like, oh my God, he wastes no time posting them on the gram. She shows Maya, Maya had to do was a quick scroll and found everything she needed to know. I didn't understand why Story did not do that.
How?
But the thing that killed me the most too was that she wasn't mad about him posting it on the gram. She was mad that he posted other girls on the gram. And
Right.
wait, huh?
I'm like, first of all, what kind of social media manager are you? You didn't check his feed before you even met him? What kind of research you be doing, girl?
This
hired you?
was a social media manager.
For what company? I need to talk to them.
Weird. Oh no.
Yes. But so true. Like, I would be mad. Like, who said I want my pictures on the gram? Like, she didn't even care about that.
Talking about he saw into my soul. Our chemistry is undeniable. I'm like, no, girl. He saw into your vagina because he was taking pictures from the floor. What chemistry you talking about? What you talk?
Yes. Oh my God, Story.
Then she had the nerve to like call him and be like, delete all my pictures because I know where you live. I'm like, girl, you think that was his real house? You think that wasn't an Airbnb? Are you serious? This is not his first rodeo, honey.
That was a studio that he rented. Stop.
She's silly. She a silly girl.
So Story sits with Jackson, and his question of the week is, is there anything from your past traumas that affects your dating history today? And she's like, well, I can't answer that. It might end up like your story. And he's like, whoa, I come in peace. I'm not the enemy. Whoa. Listen, that was different times back then. That was New York. LA, we don't do that. Confidential agreement.
We have a different server. I said, oh no, he did not just say that. No.
We got a different IT team. This is not going to happen here.
Lies. All lies.
The minute he said that, I was like, I can't wait for everything to spill because you know what's going to happen.
Of course. And then this had me wondering, Jackson, how much are they paying you? Yes. Because you got hacked last time and now you're working with these people? So then what happened? Who we at? Where we at?
Raymond with his Iggy Azalea.
Oh yes. Another day, another date with Raymond.
That boy date.
He be out there.
Okay, do y'all like Raymond's dates or Story's dates more?
None of them.
They're all horrible. No, wait.
This is my favorite because I really feel like it gives you the best view of what LA is really like. Like it really, you get to meet like all the different characters that are really out here in LA.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about this Iggy chick. I was like, is that what they do? Is that how they dress for dates?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
That 2-piece, the biker shorts with the tank, that's in. That's what all the Kim Kardashian, all of them.
I was just about to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
All the Fashion Nova, cord sets.
Yup. Love a set.
I love that Yale conversation because it's just so LA. Like
this lady was sending me. I couldn't. Once I saw her with these cornrows, I said, "You gotta go. You gotta go."
It's crazy to me how he doesn't want to date a black woman. That's what it seems like, right? He says that he will date a black woman, I guess, when he comes across one that impresses him enough. But he's okay with dating a woman that emulates black culture. But he doesn't give black women the same kind of chances that he gives like non-black people of color. So it's like, do you not want to date a black woman?
Right.
I mean, that's what it seems like.
How are you able to keep talking to these women after they've shown you time and time again that they don't match your energy, they don't match your interests, but then you'll still give another non-person of color another chance? So it's like, you must really not want to date a black woman.
He
You're
said
that
he
patient
don't.
with them, but not with black women.
And I think that's what
Alrighty.
Hillary's trying to get to with her catfish, is she's trying to prove that point of him saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll date a black woman," but his actions, time and time again, prove that that's not the case.
I was glad that this Iggy chick gave him the energy that he deserves, because he's a cornball at this point. Like, bye.
Oh my
Well,
God.
So corny.
Y'all ever notice how he always just like leaves his dates like on the side of the road?
He does.
I'd be like, dang, Raymond, that's foul. Like,
he would drop us
He's
to a
looking
safe
for love.
right? He's just like, I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm
They're wasting my
out.
time.
And they're always like, "What's the problem?" They're always
Right?
confused. Oh my God. But that girl, this Iggy Azalea, how you getting another guy's number while you on a date? She a different
Girl,
type.
I was cackling. I was like, that's good for you, sir. That's what you deserve. She paid you no mind. She's here for the meal only, and I'm okay with that.
That's it. Literally here for the meal, so she can get thick for her BBL. Okay.
So then we go to Denise. She comes home and she sees Brian and his assistant Kiki, and she got an attitude already.
That's good, actually. Oh, hey, baby.
I want to laugh. Huh? Humor me. Oh, it's just this video that's going viral right now. Hey, honey. I didn't know you hired someone to sit around and laugh at internet stuff all day.
Okay, you know what?
You got to stop coming home mad. You got to stop this.
She gonna be coming home mad though. She be in a good mood, and then it's just like, okay,
Symphony.
She be in the foyer mad.
How you gonna feel if you walk into your own house after a long day and you see your man sitting up there so engrossed in laughing and joking with this other woman that he doesn't acknowledge you? No, hey, baby. Like, I went all the way. I came in, looked at the mail, went all the way from the door, all the way over there. Nobody even noticed I'm in the room.
Listen,
I've been a robber and just like, they were just locked in.
A robber with keys. Okay.
I don't know. They was just so wrapped up in that little video, laughing.
Yes.
She said, "I want to laugh." I said, "Oh no, this is my year to go." Oh no,
I loved it. I love that. I want to laugh too. What's so funny? But she didn't like to see happiness in her home, so that made her mad.
She does, just not with another woman.
But I don't know. Like, I guess like they weren't working per se, but listen, it's the end of the day. She was probably about to clock out anyway.
She sure was. Man. Every time Denise comes home, he tells his assistant, "All right, it's time to go."
Yeah.
Like, I'm not allowed to play no more. It's time to go. Mom's home.
Mom's home.
I can't.
So he tells her basically, you need to chill. Like, bring it down 1,000 notches. And she's like, fine. Tell her I apologize, because that's basically what she said. And he's like, girl, tell her yourself. And she said, now you're pushing it. I said, really?
Who doesn't want to give that much?
You're going to see her again.
Right. That girl, she just here to do a job. That's it. And all that attitude for what? Like, I just answered this ad on Craigslist. I'm here to get a paycheck. Leave me alone.
That's it.
That's it.
She knows that Brian is the prize, and she don't trust these girls around him.
Listen, but she needs to start appreciating her man. Like, stop helping him.
Right? Because remember the first day when she met her, she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for coming to work on our company."
Right.
And now it's like, I want to laugh. Whoa.
Whoa. And then Brian shared that he actually has his first investor, which is good. Like, the business is booming. And she's excited for him. So we'll see. So listen, this help is helping.
I mean, yeah, it's good. We're excited.
We love to see it.
We're excited. We're already thinking about what we can add to the Amazon, wish
For
list
the wedding. Yep.
Whoa. She's obsessed with this wedding.
Of course, it's like the biggest day of her life.
Yes.
Okay.
No Denise sympathy day.
So we end off with Story and Raymond once again having a night catching up via the app, right? They're both on this app.
Yeah.
And they're talking about Incubus, whoever the hell they are. I don't know what that is.
The band.
It's a band?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you learn something new every day.
Raymond wouldn't like you. You're not hip.
I don't give a damn. Raymond, we all know he's been looking for love. So he is ready to meet.
ASAP.
And Story is really feeding into this possibility of meeting.
Yeah.
How?
That far through.
She really did it, smarty pants.
She didn't think at all.
Because he ready to meet. He doesn't play.
Yeah, he said, "You like punk rock? I'm sold. When can we get married?"
He said, "Whenever."
I'm always available.
Literally, does he not work? He is always available.
That's the type of energy we need from men today. Because it was like, I don't know what you want to do. I mean, let me know. No, I'm free. I'm available. Just let me. I'm here.
Right.
And he plans dates. Let's get into the QC.
Let's do it.
That's the one thing I can say about this guy, because we always complain, well, me and you always talk about how, guys, they be asking you, oh, let's meet up. All right, so what you want to do? I don't know. It's up to you.
Right.
You're bothering me at this point now because you're wasting my time.
Exactly.
You hit me up. You don't have
exactly. What's the plan?
So with Raymond, he actually takes these women. He explains to them where they're about to go, what they're about to get into. Like for the Karen, he even talked about like the next place he want to take her to. Like he has a game plan. So kudos to him on that. However, still watching this guy.
Oh yeah. I think at the core, Raymond's a good guy. He just has some trauma and stuff he needs to deal with.
That's true.
But I can't wait to see what Story's gonna do. Because I mean, we see it. Story, you're in love with Raymond. Just say it. We all know it.
And he might be the one for her because she's been going on bad dates this entire time.
Yeah.
So I don't think he will embarrass her like these other guys have been doing.
Right. And then even on Raymond's dates, he never has talked about sex on any of his dates. He's just been about, the vibes, talking to them, getting to know them. That's what Story is looking for too. Let me find out they're a perfect match.
So you said that you feel like, obviously Story likes him is kind of how you feel. Do you think she liked him when she started this catfish, or do you think she's like starting to like him during the process?
No, she loved him since episode 1.
Oh yeah, since before this show even started, she loved him.
100%.
Her best friend is going out with his brother. She's been watching him for years.
Yeah. And
She
she's
just
always
didn't have the balls to say
bothering
something.
him, trying to, oh, who you going on a date with this week? Oh,
Mhm.
always
Right.
trying to tease him, just trying to
She's
talk
like a
to
little
him.
bully.
Yeah.
Mhm. Her little flirt.
Exactly.
That's her way of
classic
flirting,
flirt.
right?
Yep. Do we think that Maya is going to take Rashad back?
Oh, that was the question in the episode at the end. Do you think Maya and Rashad will ever work it out?
I don't want them
My
to.
answer is
You don't want
yeah.
them to?
No.
We want better for we always want better for someone who's in a toxic relationship.
Always.
Yeah.
To me, Rashad's too selfish. He is a little boy, and I do not have the patience for man child.
And how he flips the blame is just
Yeah.
so annoying.
Yeah. But realistically, do y'all think that they'll get back together? Like, regardless of what you want them to do?
Yes.
I don't like. I feel like I want to say. I don't know. I just feel like him saying that, like, how long you gonna feel this way? Like, that was so insensitive. And I hope she like wakes up like, come on, girl. He's asking you to rush the process of, healing from your brother. Like, how you gonna take someone back?
And it
after
makes me
that?
wonder too, because I feel
doesn't
like that
care
is
about
one of her strong motivations for still being with him. Is it's just familiar. Like she can't handle no more change. She needs like that comfort, no matter how toxic it is. So I do think that is an interesting point of like him coming after her in that vulnerable way. Like, could be a turning point of her being like, dang, this ain't really.
But even before Raymond had like barged into the room like a superhero, she was kind of being roped back in because he started saying like, look, everybody's on your side, everybody cares about you, nobody cares about me, and she doesn't want him to feel that way. So she kind of like, her facial expression was changing, like she was softening up a bit. And then even when they were getting drinks, she's like defending him. So I can see her taking him back because, like you said, he's familiar and they have that history.
And we also didn't talk about how she sat with Jackson and she felt the guilt for her brother's death. Bishop ended up calling her that night and she didn't pick up, and she feels like his death is like all her fault. So she has that on her, and I guess that's what's really like, changing her relationship with Rashad and just changing her. But it's a lot. And we still didn't get back into, remember Rashad? We felt Rashad felt guilt too for the death.
That's what it looks like. They both feel guilty. Maybe he did call both of them that night. Maybe they were together and didn't answer the phone. We don't know.
It's a lot. It's a lot for either one of them, but they don't need to be together. They need to heal on their own. So, Symphony, do you relate to Denise at all?
Yeah, I think in some ways I definitely do relate to her. She just kind of like that independence that she has, and like that like just striving for what she wants, going after what she wants. I can definitely relate to that. And I don't think I really communicate it in the same way that she does, but I could definitely relate to her and not really fully understanding how like a partnership should function and like the give and take of that. Like sometimes you have to put what your priorities are to the side, or give a little more effort on top of what you're already doing to support your partner. So like finding like that good balance, I think is, it could be a struggle for all of us at times, especially if you've been so hyper focused like your whole life. So I feel like this is probably one of Denise's most successful. I mean, obviously it's her first engagement. So I think she still has like a lot of learning to do and being like in a mature, healthy relationship. She still operates a little bit like she's single.
Yes, that's very true.
And I think that also goes to her like daydreaming and stuff, like still kind of operating in a single mentality where you could entertain those type of thoughts like, oh, what if, when you're with someone, you shouldn't be entertaining those thoughts at all. But I think for Denise, she's still figuring out how to not be single.
Well, she needs to get it together. Like, this wedding is approaching.
Swift.
All right, she planning it. Does she want him there?
So we can read some comments. Like, I know the people be, going in on Denise. We had Lance on the show a little while ago, and he was like defending your character. He gave you a shout out, like, because people be going in on Denise. But these aren't too bad. So Wildflower Snowy Lady says Denise has to be compensated for some emotional trauma, or she is just cold blooded. Honestly, her selfish ways are shocking. Anyway, she's a good actress, but your character has me in my feelings. Girl, makes me angry. So that's always so good, because you're such, you're a good actress that make people in their feelings.
Mm-hmm. You did your job, girl.
Thank you. It just cracks me up when, like, even my family members and stuff, get to a point where they're like, Symphony, we love you, but like, ooh, your voice just reminds me of Denise, and it just takes me out. And I'm like, okay. But like, I'm not. Like, you guys have known me for some years before you met Denise. So just like, remember the Symphony.
Not me.
So from Creative Soul, they say Maya needs to leave that man and heal. Story needs to go on and get with the old boy and stop catfishing before she messes it up. Denise needs to stop being ungrateful before she pushes that good man away. These are all facts.
All facts.
All facts. How do we feel about Brian? Do we feel Brian needs to meet Denise in the middle? Is it all Denise's fault? Like,
I think she needs to communicate what it is that she wants, because who she's fantasizing about and the man that she actually has are two completely different kind of men.
Oh,
so
that's true.
She definitely needs to communicate, what kind of man she really wants, because she's about to take someone's last name.
I agree. Like, it does come down to a communication breakdown. And it's interesting because she's so direct all the time with everything, but it just, feels like there's always something that she's not expressing. And I think, it's like her way of not knowing how to express things in a tender way. Or, like, she is afraid of just being herself and saying something so just like directly that it would hurt him. So she's like, well, I'll just like not say anything at all. And that's never good. I agree though. She needs to be better at communicating.
Yeah. And I think even the fact that she's afraid of being herself is sad too, because it's like, how long you been with this person? He doesn't really know the real you. It's like, is this a representation of you this entire time? Like, that's exhausting, girl. You gotta be yourself.
I mean, I know we said in the early episode that we're not sure if they're going to make it to the aisle. How do you feel now, Mary?
I think they will be at the aisle, and then don't laugh at me. I think Brian will be at the aisle, just waiting.
Okay.
He'll just be waiting. And that's gonna happen.
So you don't think Denise is coming?
I don't think Denise is coming. No, she gives me the vibe of like it's all gonna hit her when she finally puts on that dress and it's the day of, and she's like, I don't really want this.
She's gonna get cold feet.
What say you?
I don't think the wedding's gonna happen at all. So for him to even be at the aisle, I think she might. It's on his calendar. I feel like she might gonna have a slip up and end up trying to kiss this guy at work or something.
Oh wow, you're calling her a cheater. You deemed her a cheater.
I mean,
I could see that, and then that guy would be like, "Whoa, I'm married."
Yeah.
Everybody's plotting on Denise's downfall, man.
Or maybe she'll change. Maybe her sessions with Jackson, wake her up, and she's like, "Oh wow, I can." Me and Brian can do it. We'll make it through.
I want them to get like couples counseling. Like, go see a pastor and get couples counseling, because I don't know about you two. I'm not confident.
It's not as pretty as it seems.
We'll see.
Because even Brian has an issue with communicating what it is that he wants as well. Like they both have an issue with being honest with each other because like they're afraid of like rocking the boat or hurting each other's feelings. So they'd rather just like not say anything and sweep everything under the rug.
Yeah. Well, you think Brian, you said?
Yeah, Brian too.
You're like one of the few people who actually believe that Brian also has flaws in the relationship. Everyone is putting it all on Denise. It takes two.
It does take two. It does take two.
Because remember that love language episode where he said, I forgot what he said, but I remember we talked about how why doesn't he communicate that to Denise on like what it is that he wants.
He wanted quality time.
Right.
He tries,
He
but
tries,
he
but
doesn't.
he's busy spending time with the assistant. Ain't no time for Denise.
He's working.
No, she didn't throw the assistant under the bus.
Yes, she was here to do a job.
I want them to do like a date night or something, like to kind of rekindle the romance between them two, because they do seem like they're super busy all the time and they don't have enough time for each other. And they do need that quality time just to like sort of like reiterate in their minds that, you know, they are happy with one another.
Yeah, that's true. That is so
Right.
true. Like they just need some of the excitement.
No phone.
Right.
Hey.
No assistant, no phone.
Okay,
Exactly.
deal. We can work with that.
But thank you so much, Symphony. This was amazing.
Yes, thank you guys for having me on. This was so fun.
Thank you.
Before you leave, can you just share with everyone where they can follow you and anything that's new going on with you, like your journey and whatnot?
So, hey guys, thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on Instagram at Sympho says hi. That's SYMPHO says hi. No one can ever pronounce my handle right. But go ahead and follow me there. I have the link to Tough Love in my bio so you guys can see what's going on there and anything new. I'm always posting it on my Insta.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes, follow her, y'all. So that is our episode 106 of Tough Love LA. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're not already, please follow us at Seriously Podcast at Gmail on all social media platforms. And you can send us your QCCs to our email at seriouslypodcast@gmail.com. And we can't wait to talk to you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.